Okay, good morning. I call the October 8th, 2024 meeting of the DuPage County Board to order. A quorum of members is physically present. I will entertain a motion to permit those members not physically present. Okay, all in favor? Okay, motion carries. Okay, I invite everyone to stand and join in the Pledge of Allegiance. Member Galassi, will you please lead us in the pledge?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before I invite Rabbi David Eber of Congregation Beth Shalom in Naperville to lead us in the invocation, I ask that we take a moment of silence to honor those lives lost in the southeastern states as a result of Hurricane Helene. It is now the deadliest mainland hurricane since Katrina in the U.S. With more than 220 lives lost. We also need to keep those Florida residents in our thoughts who are in the path of the next hurricane, which is forecasted to hit tomorrow or Thursday. Rabbi, please proceed with the invocation.
Members, staff, guests, it's a blessing for me to be here. My name is Rabbi David Eber. I'm the rabbi at Congregation Beth Shalom in Naperville. And the last time I was here, I was grateful that you all were recognizing Jewish American Heritage Month. So it's my honor to be back to offer you a blessing and to lead us this morning. It's an important time in Jewish tradition we are right now between the Jewish New Year and the Day of Atonement. And a blessing in our tradition is something said before engaging in holy work. And so I think gathering to do the work of the county is of course holy work, but perhaps it doesn't always feel that way. The emails, the complaints, the paperwork, it's not every day that you necessarily feel the benefit of all of your labors. And in our ancient temple, the priests did work on behalf of the people. And in fact, the term in Hebrew for that is avodah. It's often translated as worship, but it literally means work. Doing the holy work of the temple was communal work. And people made offerings, but the priests effectuated those. But another way to translate this word is service. So let us pray. We pray that our work here today be in the spirit of service of all members of the community, especially those who are vulnerable, and also the service of our highest ideals of the greater good. May our deliberations be guided by wisdom and integrity. Let us act with kindness and courage, fostering collaboration in respect for our shared pursuit of that greater good. As we gather, may the light of understanding shine upon our discussions, illuminating paths of togetherness towards progress. Let us work towards a DuPage County where all feel valued, heard, and supported. And let us say, Amen. Thank you.
Mr. Deputy Clerk, please take the roll.
Cahill. Here. Chaplin.
Here.
Childress. Yes. Covert. Desart. Here. Eckhoff. Evans.
Here.
Galassi. Here. Garcia.
Here.
Guston. Krajewski. LaPlante. Ozog. Here. Rutledge. Here. Schwarzy. Here. Tornatori. Here. You.
Here.
And Zay.
Okay, today we are going to celebrate Breast Cancer Awareness Month with a proclamation, and I'd like to invite Tessa Pratt and Kyoko Ches to the podium for the proclamation. Okay. This month, we join the rest of the nation in proclaiming October National Breast Cancer Awareness Month here in DuPage County. As we do so, we highlight the vital role of the American Cancer Society plays in our community. We are joined by Tessa Pratt and Kyoko Czech, the coaches for West Suburban Making Strides Against Cancer, the annual walk and fundraising event recently held at Cantini on October 6th. Allow me to read our annual proclamation, and I'll allow our guests to say a few words. Whereas an estimated 1 in 8 women will develop breast cancer in their lifetime, and tragically, 1 in 40 women will succumb to the disease. And whereas an estimated 1 in 800 men will develop breast cancer in their lifetime, but often at later, more advanced stages due to the low awareness of the risk. And whereas both women and men can reduce their breast cancer risk by maintaining healthy weight, being physically active, and eating a balanced diet throughout their lives. And whereas early detection and prompt treatment can significantly reduce suffering and deaths associated with the disease. Whereas the American Cancer Society continues to provide free resources, support, and services to individuals battling breast cancer in communities across the nation. And whereas in every 2 women newly diagnosed with breast cancer seek support from the American Cancer Society for hope and guidance. Whereas the residents of DuPage County showed their support by proudly participating in the Making Strides Against Breast Cancer Walk at Cantini Park, raising vital funds and awareness in support of the American Cancer Society's efforts to advance research and reduce the incidence and impact of breast cancer both nationally and globally. Now therefore it be resolved that I, Deborah A. Conroy, Chair of the DuPage County Board, and members of the County Board do hereby proclaim the month of October 2024 as National Breast Cancer Awareness Month in DuPage County, and we support the volunteers, donors, and staff of the American Cancer Society and all organizations who are working to end breast cancer as we know it. Second? Okay, all in favor? Okay, enacted the 8th day of October 2024 in Wheaton, Illinois.
Okay, good morning, everyone. So thank you so much for having us. My name is Tessa Pratt. I'm a Senior Development Manager with the American Cancer Society, and along with my counterpart, Kyoko Czech, we are the staff partners for that Making Strides Against West Suburban event, which we held this past Sunday, October 6th at Cantini Park. Amazing day, beautiful weather. Making Strides is the nation's largest and most impactful movement to end breast cancer as we know it. We welcomed a little over 2,100 participants, volunteers, and sponsors on event day. And to date, we have raised a little over $236,000. And while our goal is still within reach, we have some work to do to reach our $370,000 goal to raise for the American Cancer Society this year. With it being October and Breast Cancer Awareness Month, just wanted to share some of the work that we are doing at the American Cancer Society in your community and how you can support breast cancer patients and their families. The American Cancer Society is urging women to be screened for breast cancer for the love of themselves, their family, for friendship, and the list goes on. Love is our most powerful motivator, giving us courage and inspiring us to action for the love of others. Although female breast cancer has become the most diagnosed cancer in the worldwide, the number of women dying from breast cancer has declined by 43% from its peak in 1989 to 2020, mainly because of that early detection and getting screened. Breast cancer screening truly saves lives. The American Cancer Society's current recommendation is if you are of average risk to start breast cancer screenings at 45 with the option to start at 40, and women should always talk to their doctors about factors such as family history, genetics, lifestyle choices to determine when they should start screening. And we know that once diagnosed, community support can be key to survival. The American Cancer Society offers free transportation and lodging during treatment, peer-to-peer mentor programs like our Reach to Recovery program, and our amazing ACS Cares app, which equips those facing cancer with curated content for their specific specific journey for both survivors and their caregivers. Our website is also available 24/7. Our website is available and our 800 number is available 24/7 to help answer questions and even on holidays for both cancer patients and their caregivers. While our walk may have passed, there are still ways you can support the American Cancer Society in making strides this October. Part of how the American Cancer Society helps breast cancer patients and their families year-round is through our Road to Recovery program, which offers free rides to and from treatment. However, we are still in need of lots more drivers in DuPage County to help us fulfill more rides. You can sign up or learn more to drive at cancer.org/drive. And I can also give a plug and say, while I work for the American Cancer Society, I am also a volunteer Road to Recovery driver, driving many patients to their treatment here in DuPage County, and I can say it's an amazing way to give back to your community. We are also always looking for community leaders to serve on our event leadership team for next year's walk, and we're continuing to accept donations on our website through the end of the year. We hope to see you all at next year's Making Strides Against Breast Cancer of West Suburban, which will be October 5th, 2025 at Cantini Park. Thank you again, DuPage County, for your support of the American Cancer Society, not only this month, but year-round, and in our mission to end breast cancer as we know it for everyone.
Okay, now we're going to move on to Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and I'd like to invite Debbie Galvez, Domestic Violence Program Supervisor at Family Shelter Services, Nancy Krupp-Matee, Domestic Violence Advocate, and Chris Riedel, Hotline Volunteer, to the podium. And District 2, of course, I'm sorry. Okay. Each year, we also designate the month of October as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. This time each year, we are reminded of the prevalence of domestic violence impacting thousands of men, women, and children each year in DuPage County. District 2 board members Ina Yu, Paula Deacon Garcia, and Liz Chaplin are hosting a supplies drive again this year to benefit Family Shelter Services of Metropolitan Family Services of DuPage. Debbie Galvez, Nancy Krupp-Matee, and Chris Riedel are here to accept our proclamation on behalf of Family Shelter Services. I'll read the proclamation and ask the board members and guests to say a few words. Whereas Domestic Violence Awareness Month is observed each October in honor of lives lost to domestic violence, support the millions of survivors, and raise awareness of its profound impact on individuals, families, and communities. Whereas domestic violence is not limited to physical abuse, but includes emotional, verbal, sexual, and economic abuse, as well as intimidation and isolation, which are all used to exert power and control over an intimate partner. And whereas domestic violence affects people of all genders, race, socioeconomic status, religion, and cultures, harming not only adults, but also children. Whereas DuPage County is proud to be the home of Family Shelter Services of Metropolitan Family Services DuPage, a local nonprofit domestic violence organization which provides DuPage residents with vital services such as 24-hour crisis hotline, court advocacy, emergency shelter, and counseling. Whereas in DuPage County, Family Shelter Services served over 1,300 adults and 220 children, and served 258 emergency shelter clients in the last year. Whereas Family Shelter Services received 6,238 hotline calls in 2024 and distributed 14,650 hotline cards. Through the 24-hour domestic violence hotline, Family Service Shelters Volunteers provided 780 hours of life-saving emergency support, resulting in 95% of hotline callers stating they felt safer after speaking with a hotline worker. Whereas the DuPage County Board proudly recognizes and commends Family Shelter Service and their volunteers for their unwavering commitment to empowering survivors, helping them escape abuse and rebuild their lives, and educating the community to create lasting change in the fight to end domestic violence. Whereas the DuPage County Board wishes to extend its sincere gratitude to the dedicated volunteers at Family Shelter Service, especially those who work on the domestic violence hotline. That selfless dedication and tireless effort contribute greatly to the success and sustainability of these programs. Now, therefore, it be resolved that I, Deborah A. Conroy, Chair of the DuPage County Board, and members of the County Board, do hereby recognize October 2024 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month, applaud the efforts of Family Shelter Service of Metropolitan Family Services DuPage, and urge county residents to learn about the devastating effects of domestic abuse, creating a safer community for all. All in favor? Okay. And, enacted the 8th day of October, 2024 in Wheaton, Illinois.
Hi, everybody. I'm truly pleased to bring forth this proclamation for Domestic Violence Awareness Month with members Chaplain and member Deacon Garcia, because domestic violence really does affect thousands of people in our county and our state. And in fact, in 2023, I want to bring to your attention that there were 120 deaths caused by domestic violence in Illinois, which was a 110% increase since the year before. The numbers were so alarming that the Illinois Coalition Against Domestic Violence released their annual report early this year to bring attention to the rise in deaths. These deaths were preventable, and there is so much more that we can do to help domestic violence survivors, so I'm happy to specifically spotlight the 24-hour crisis line volunteers from Family Shelter Service. I myself served a long stint on the 24-hour crisis line during my social work practicum in graduate school, and it's not for the faint of heart, and it makes me appreciate Family Shelter staff and volunteers that much more. So thank you for the critical work that you guys do, and to Chair Conroy and all of you fellow board members for your support. And I'm going to now introduce Debbie Galvez, our Domestic Violence Program Supervisor for Family Shelter Service. Please give her a hand.
Good morning, everyone. Domestic violence happens in every corner of the world that we live in. Everyone, including men, can be victims. Domestic violence happens to straight people as well as people in the LGBTQ+ community. It happens to those with high incomes and those with low incomes. Abuse isn't caused by a mental illness. It's a decision someone does keep making. It comes from learning that they can use violence to get what they want without being punished. Abuse is about power and control. Family Shelter Service of Metropolitan Family Services DuPage is a nonprofit organization in DuPage County and is the only one of its kind here. Every year since 1976, we have answered the call in our community to help victims of domestic violence escape abuse and help rebuild their lives. We work to eliminate barriers, provide faster, greater, and more equal access to services in an environment where survivors can feel supported and empowered. In fact, 98% of our clients report that they feel more hopeful about their future after receiving our services. We offer a variety, including emergency hotline, shelter, counseling, and case management, and so many more. My name is Debbie Galvez. I am the Domestic Violence Program Supervisor for our 24-hour hotline and shelter. I worked directly with our residents for 6 years before becoming a supervisor. My passion and reason for why I do what I do stems from my direct experience with domestic violence, not only in my own home, but in the community that I lived in as a child. My team members have similar reasons. We provide safety planning, emotional support, and understanding with the utmost compassion and care. Our agency serves 1,500 clients per year, providing over 13,600 hours of service to our clients and answering the call of 6,945 hotline callers. Every year, we do face potential funding cuts, so we especially appreciate raising awareness at the county level and the pending donations drive hosted by District 2 board members. On behalf of Family Shelter Service of Metropolitan Family Services DuPage and the thousands of domestic violence survivors in DuPage County, I gratefully accept today's proclamation and I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you all. I will now introduce you to our hotline advocate, Nancy Karometry, and longtime hotline volunteer, Chris Riddell. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Nancy Karometry, and my journey with FSS began as a volunteer. This role allowed me to immerse myself in the field of domestic violence advocacy. After completing my undergraduate studies, I had the opportunity to complete my internship. It was then I was offered a position to become a domestic violence advocate. This progression from a volunteer to advocate is a testament to the power of perseverance and dedication. Because you see, I was born and grew up in a country where doesn't criminalize domestic violence, and learning that many countries around the globe do not have laws against domestic violence lights up a fire that keeps me going to make the change in the fight against domestic violence. At Family Shelter Service, we will not be able to do this work without the time and commitment of our volunteers that put time every single week. Hotline volunteers provide life-saving emergency help to callers who seek out support through our 24 hours hotline. Each hotline volunteer commits to at least 4 hours a week, often giving in more hours during peak times. Our main goal as a program is safety, and our hotline volunteers exemplify that with our callers, 90% of them feel safe after speaking with the hotline worker. Our volunteers stand by knowing that the next call they pick up can be the one that changes the life of a person on the other side of the phone. And now I would like to introduce a longtime volunteer, Chris Riddell. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Chris Riedel, and I've been a volunteer at Family Shelter Service for 7 years. Prior to becoming a volunteer, I worked as an executive at Aetna Health Plans for 30 years. I am a survivor of domestic violence. My first husband was verbally, emotionally abusive, isolated me from family and friends, and my experience so many years ago helped me to realize some important facts about survivors of domestic violence. And unfortunately, many of our clients that I deal with still experience those realities today. First, they don't know where to turn to for help. Second, they're often given lots of misinformation. And lastly, they don't have the necessary resources to get away from abusers. There's a statistic that says it takes a woman or a man 7 times before they can finally escape the abuse. Fortunately, I was able to leave my abuser, pursue a successful career, and retire, which allows me the opportunity to be a volunteer at Family Shelter. And it helps me to address some of the concerns that I encountered in my own situation, helping others to navigate the challenges and even the dangers that they're facing in their day-to-day lives. So at Family Shelter Services, we empower survivors with the tools and resources that they need to live their daily lives, to take back control of their lives, so that they can feel empowered in making their own decisions, and so that they can ensure their own safety and the safety of their children. Family Shelter Service is the only domestic violence shelter in DuPage County. Certainly not enough beds. Most days we're turning away a lot of callers, which is very sad to do. But we do offer them resources to make sure they're safe until they are able to get into a safe place. I'm very proud to work at Family Shelter Service as a volunteer, and I'm super proud of the impact that our team makes on survivors and in the community. So I really appreciate you all being here today, and especially appreciate all the support that the community and the county has given our agency. Thank you.
Thank you, and I'll make this quick. As you can see, this is such an important it's just an important use. Anyways, all three of us, the District 2 board members, I'm just so, of all the great work you're doing, so it's like wonderful. All three of us, the District 2 board members, are so happy to support Family Shelter Service of Metropolitan Family Services in DuPage for the second year in a row by organizing a donation drive for the month of October. One of the shelter's main needs is household cleaning supplies, and we have boxes placed at all of the county health centers and also at the two libraries in Lisle and Elmhurst. Many other items are needed, as you can obviously tell by what you've just heard, and we ask that you check the shelter's Amazon wish list to help the shelter. This will allow them to have things readily available as people in need arrive. The drop boxes also have a QR code also that takes you right to the wish list, and I want to thank you to all that you donate and all the great work Metropolitan Family Services of DuPage is doing. Thank you so much.
Okay, on the matter of public comment, according to our county board rules, members of the public shall be afforded time to address the board. Individual remarks shall not exceed 3 minutes. Our first speaker is
April Redzill.
That was close. Hi there, I'm April Redzik, President and CEO of DuPage Pads. I am joined here today by Chad Pedigo, our Vice President of Development, and Scott Austin, our Vice President of Programs, who's over on the other side of the glass. I asked to come here today to make a public comment because I wanted to salute one of our DuPage County staff. On behalf of DuPage Pads board and staff, I would like to commend Lisa Snipes in your Community Services Department for her incredible tenacity as leader of DuPage County's Continuum of Care in her fight for more funding for survivors of domestic violence in our community. As many of you know, DuPage Pads started the first rapid rehousing program with the help of our friends at Family Shelter to help families and individuals who had experienced domestic violence move into a home of their own after a period of homelessness. To give you an idea of numbers, about half of the women who are homeless right now at any one time in our county are survivors of domestic violence. So we have 300 people in shelter, 200 are adults, 100 are kids-ish. So about 50 women at any one time staying with us are survivors of domestic violence. So we've been working to grow that program because there's so much need. In March of this year, when we were applying for an expansion, we learned that our application to expand by 7 households had been denied by HUD by a score of less than 1 point. And Lisa went back into the application and discovered that it was a scoring error. For the past 7 months, Lisa Snipes has been fighting tirelessly to get those funds back into our county. She wrote letters, she made calls, and she read the procedures. And then she started calling and writing again. Last week, we got an answer from HUD. We won our appeal. So thanks to Lisa and her persistence, 7 more households will have a safe apartment of their own after living in fear and violence. And new federal funds will be coming into DuPage County. Her efforts will save lives. We are truly grateful to her and hope that you will join me in a round of applause for her efforts. Thank you so much for your time.
Is Lisa here? Lisa, can you, no, she's not here? Okay. Oh, good, okay. I've had the privilege of knowing Lisa for a very long time, and the work she continues to do inspires us all.
Mrs. Rugg?
I hope this works. Is it working? Is it working?
We can hear you.
I'm tired of coming here, but I'm really sad about what happened on September 24th, 2 weeks ago. A gentleman that's 80 years old has begged you for help for 20 years. He came in when he was 60, now he's 80. Nothing is ever done in DuPage County. You have a complete failure in water management. Nobody knows the laws, nobody pays attention to the laws, and we keep on suffering. Take a good look. I'm going to keep on coming back with the same pictures. I hope all America sees them. There's all kinds of abuse in this world. When you put me in danger, my property in danger with climate change, and you continuously flood me out with a new building, that's criminal. I'm tired of coming here. I want to see Bob Berlin. Bob Berlin, please call me. I have very important information to share with you. I have very important film of major flooding of a medical building that houses 141 people. The man last time talked about the mosquitoes 100 feet from a school. They try to go out and get some fresh air and electric wheelchairs and walkers and canes, and they can't get a breath of air for the mosquitoes. And you do nothing. For 10 years you've known about this. You're helpless? That's abuse. That's abuse. Who do I call? And how dare Ms. Conroy say I should get mental health at your mental health building? Are you kidding me? The mental health people, your DuPage County Public Health has known about this flooding for years under Karen Ayala. For years they've known about it. They just let it happen. I'm just going to wait my 3 minutes, and I want close-ups of these pictures so all America can see what DuPage County is doing in Itasca, Illinois. And the DuPage County Forest Preserve that built a berm and a bike path on top of it.
Ms. Rugg, your 3 minutes is up.
Okay, if the board has received public comment via our online portal per board policy, those comments were provided to members yesterday so they could be reviewed. Comments submitted electronically will be included in the minutes of this meeting. Today, we take a moment to celebrate 15 community service organizations that will receive more than $3 million in grants for their proposals to transform lives here in DuPage County. Today's action marks the fifth and final set of grants distributed by this board and DuPage Foundation as part of the DuPage Community Transformation Partnership. In February of 2022, we allocated $10 million over 5 years to assist our DuPage residents struggling in the aftermath of the COVID pandemic. These transformational grants are intended to very simply be life-changing. They support evidence-based programs focused on solutions to build capacity, improve efficiency, and ensure programs make measurable impact. We're going to learn more about the overall impact of these grant programs in a moment. But first, I'll turn it over, Member Schwarzy, and also Mike Strick. Can you come up?
Thank you, Chair Conroy, and thanks to the DuPage Foundation for being such an outstanding partner. As the Chair said, the transformational grants we announced today bring our total of $10 million distributed between both programs, the immediate intervention and the transformational grants. The DuPage Foundation will provide us more information about the tremendous community impact in the areas of eliminating food insecurity, promoting housing stability, and providing effective mental health and substance use disorder treatment or prevention programs. I'd like to thank my board colleague, Paula Garcia, and DuPage Foundation board member, Megan Shebeck, right over there, who chaired the grant committee. Many dedicated volunteers serve on the grant committee, asking important questions and really drilling down on the long-term impact applicants are seeking to make in our communities. That dedication and collaboration led to today's grant awards. So, Mike Citrick from the DuPage Foundation.
Thanks, Greg. Good morning, everyone. I really appreciate you all recognizing the fantastic efforts of the DCTP committee. They've been exceedingly thoughtful and strategic in their work to ensure that these dollars are allocated prudently on behalf of our community. My colleague Barb Sapaniak and I will be sharing highlights shortly about this program's tremendous impact to date. But for now, I want to reiterate my thanks to you, Paula, Chair Conroy, and all of you for forging this partnership with us. It has and continues to transform lives while inspiring our residents who have resources to step up and join the cause. Of the more than $3 million being awarded today, $150,000 was leveraged from an additional DuPage Foundation donor. That makes for a total of $450,000 additional dollars from what you guys awarded that's been brought on in support of this fantastic partnership. So again, I just want to thank you for your leadership and for helping us demonstrate the opportunity and power of collective impact. We can accomplish so much more when we pool our resources and efforts together. Chair Conroy?
Thank you, Mike. This morning, we will invite grantees from each category to the podium, present the awards with Megan and Paula's help, and then we will make a group photo. Megan and Paula, please, will you join us? Okay, I'll begin with the mental health and substance use disorder category. Would the grantees in this category please join me here at the podium? The organizations will receive transformational grants for the 2024 year are Alive Center, Easter Seals DuPage and Fox Valley, Glen Ellen Children's Resource Center, Kids Matter, Little Friends, Metropolitan Family Services DuPage, Northeast DuPage Family and Youth Services, Outreach, Ray Graham Association, Serenity House Counseling Services, and the Tri-Town YMCA. Congratulations all. Okay, if the grantees would please remain here. Mike, will you please take the next category, housing instability?
Thank you, Chair Conroy. The organizations receiving transformational grants to address housing are two. We have Bridge Communities first. And second, DuPage Pads. Congratulations. Greg, would you please take our final category?
The organizations receiving transformational grant awards addressing food insecurity in 2024 are Neighborhood Food Pantries and the People's Resource Center. Congratulations to all of our recipients. Chair Conroy and Mike, if you would please grab our big check so that we can acknowledge these programs, which will make an important impact in DuPage County, and we'll all slide that way so we can get a picture. Can you guys sort of squeeze in behind us?
Thanks very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, and congratulations to all. As I reviewed the grant recipients and their transformational program descriptions, I was struck, particularly in the mental health area. How many of these programs are aimed at children and their families, hoping to address mental health struggles early? That need is certainly evolved, and we saw lingering effects from the pandemic on our residents. When we think about where we were as leaders and community members in 2021 or 2022, we could not have predicted where we would be in 2024, moving into 2025. But like us, our nonprofit agencies have pivoted to address the challenges before us and provide help where it was most needed. We have the opportunity now, as a board, to learn more about the total impact of the $10 million in ARPA funds that created the transformational partnership, and about the collective impact of those funds. I've asked Mike Citrick and his staff to provide us some information on just that topic today. Mike, take it away.
We're good. All right. Thank you, Chair Conroy. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here to be able to provide an update on the impact of this tremendous program since its start. I can't see the. Are we good? Okay. There we go. Okay. Okay, we're good. This nationally recognized partnership was forged in 2022 after exploring how the foundation could best support the county in efficiently and effectively granting some of the considerable funds you all receive from the American Rescue Plan Act for maximum community impact. After brainstorming possibilities, we agreed upon terms for a 5-year, $10 million partnership to create a 2-track program for area not-for-profits to benefit 4 critical areas: mental health, food insecurity, substance use disorder, and housing. Track 1, immediate intervention grants, provided resources to help organizations respond to the immediate needs of their clients and quickly increase their capacity to deliver efficient services and resources. Track 2, the transformational grants, supported evidence-based programs focused on long-term solutions to build capacity, improve efficiency, and ensure efficacy of programs. As of today, we've awarded 84 grants totaling close to $10.5 million between the 2 tracks. For the immediate intervention side, we had 52 grants totaling more than $3.4 million. And on the transformational side, we had 32 grants totaling $7 million. In looking at the breakdown of these awards, 58% of the grants went directly to address mental health issues and substance abuse disorders affecting our residents. 21% went in support of helping feed our hungry neighbors. and another 21% went toward providing stable housing for individuals and families throughout our community. At this time, I'd like to invite my colleague Barb Sapaniak, our Vice President for Programs, up to get a little bit more into the weeds and talk about the details. Barb, if you don't know it, has really been one of the chief drivers of this program. So Barb, thank you.
So I want to start out by first thanking all of you for having faith in us and your willingness to work with the foundation to support our local nonprofits. When we received the grant from you, we immediately got to work and created a comprehensive grant program and assembled a team of reviewers that included board and staff from both the county and the foundation, as well as a few community members who had served on one of the foundation's review committees in the past. And I want to specifically thank Paula and Greg from the county board and Mary Keating from staff at the county for actively participating in this review process. Over the course of 5 grant cycles, committee members read 272 letters of intent and applications totaling almost $35 million in requests, and met multiple times to make sure that the grants that we award would have the greatest impact. And I think the number of grants we received really illustrates the needs in the community, and that is just in those 4 issue areas. Thanks to the administrative funds that were given to the foundation, along with the funds for grant making, we were able to engage a consultant, Deb Duvere, to provide technical assistance to the grantees. And she met regularly with teams from each nonprofit that received transformational, I always forget to do this. She met regularly with teams from each nonprofit that received transformational grants to help with project implementation, to brainstorm solutions to problems they were encountering, to ensure outcomes were being met, and that impact was being measured effectively. So she essentially walked side by side with the grantees over the 2-year period, and I think this was a critical component of the success of the transformational grants. As was already mentioned, we shared applications with some of the foundation's donor advisors, and as a result, we were able to award an additional $450,000 to support these projects. So this partnership between the DuPage County Board and DuPage Foundation has had a huge impact on DuPage residents. As a result of our collective impact, 226,000 individuals and 66,000 households have been served with DCTP grants. And we will see even more impact as the effect of the grants that we awarded in July and the grants that we're awarding this morning when we get those results in next year and then in 2 years. In addition, 38 new jobs were created with these grants. So as Mike mentioned, we provided 2 grant tracks that nonprofits could apply through. The immediate intervention grants were intended to provide immediate assistance to residents who were struggling as a result of the pandemic. And this slide illustrates the number of people impacted by just the immediate intervention grants. And some of the type of programs that funding supported included providing rent assistance to keep families from becoming homeless, and security deposits to help house people that were already homeless. It provided prescription medication provided prescription medication to treat behavioral health needs of residents who would not otherwise be able to afford them. It helped to purchase vehicles to help food pantries pick up food from Northern Illinois Food Bank or from the local grocery stores. In the past, pantry volunteers would go to the grocery stores using their personal vehicles to pick up some of these groceries, but the volume has increased so dramatically that it's just not possible any longer, and these larger vans are definitely necessary. And I've been told they're on the street every day, almost all day long. It also supported salaries of mental health professionals to provide more counseling sessions to help whittle down some of those large waiting lists to receive services. So in addition to the immediate intervention grants, we also offered a transformational grant opportunity. And as been mentioned, these grants are intended to support evidence-based programs focused on long-term solutions to essentially transform the way organizations are delivering their services. And this really was an opportunity that doesn't happen very often, And it really was definitely a game changer for many of the organizations that received grants. They were able to think big and pilot new projects to be more efficient and effective and serve more people. And the results of these programs have been pretty amazing. 17 transformational grants were awarded in 2022. Most of them were 2-year grants that have concluded this month. And this slide shows the number of residents that have already benefited from a transformational grant. And those numbers will increase because, again, these are long-term programs, so they're going to help people now, but they're going to continue to help people way beyond the grant period. A few of the transformational highlights. A new counseling center was opened in Bloomingdale and served an additional 347 clients, and of those who obtained services, 85% reported reduced mental health symptoms. Through a stabilization program, single moms facing homelessness were immediately stabilized in housing, and over a 1-year time frame, they received intensive case management to address their immediate needs, but also to begin working on long-term self-sufficiency goals. And all of the families in this program exited to stable, permanent housing. And this is a program that benefits fewer individuals, but it goes deep. And it has significant impact on breaking the cycle of poverty for the families in the program. A small food pantry established an online ordering system that provided an accessible way for families with young children, those who were ill, and seniors to obtain healthy foods that met their dietary needs. And this was one of our smaller DCTP grants, but still benefited more than 2,600 unduplicated individuals. Through another program, 903 adults and high school kids were trained in youth mental health first aid, which is a program that helps individuals identify young people who might be experiencing a mental health challenge and to help connect them to the resources that might be able to assist. Of those 903, 43 were also trained as trainers, and 4 of those trainers are bilingual. Finally, I want to emphasize that sustainability was always a factor when our committee was making decisions. When we were selecting the recipients, we wanted to make sure that these programs would continue on when the grant funding is no longer there. And an example of how this worked for a couple situations is we gave a lot of funding to help counseling programs get launched. And so they had 2 years to get those programs launched, but while they were getting the program up and running, they were also applying to Medicaid to be a Medicaid certified provider. And I've heard that's a really daunting process and it takes a long time. But once they are certified, they can now bill Medicaid, and that program will continue to support operations forever, pretty much. Finally, the grants that we awarded most of the grants that we awarded benefited people throughout DuPage County, but many of the grants specifically funded programs in each of your DuPage County districts. And I'm not going to read all of them because they're on the slides, but an example in District 1, Northeast DuPage Family and Youth Services. In District 2, Tri-Town YMCA. District 3, the Community House. District 4, Glen Ellen Children's Resource Center. District 5, Kids Matter. District 6, Neighborhood Food Pantries. Now I'd like to turn it back over to Mike Citrick. He's going to talk about the impact of this program on how it's changing, how the foundation will be addressing, institutionalizing what we've already been doing with this DCTP. Mike?
Thanks, Barb. Again, this program would not have achieved the level of success that it has without Barb's dedication and the leadership and hard work of our incredible DCTP committee. We've already recognized several people, so I won't point people out by name, but again, the folks that are up on the screen have just done an amazing job, and we're so grateful for their service and thoughtfulness. So again, my thanks to all of you, and especially to you as county board members and to your predecessors who adopted this in 2022, and then to Chair Conroy, who has just implemented it with you guys. Together, again, our partnership has provided immediate assistance to 217,000 residents affected by the pandemic. It has resulted in transformative projects that are effectively and sustainably addressing critical community needs, and it's transformed our approach at the foundation to addressing community challenges and opportunities. And that's where I want to close out, just to give you a little bit more background with that. This fall, our board adopted an audacious new strategic plan to chart our course for the next several years and guide our activities for the next 3. At the heart of this plan is our commitment to being our county's catalyst for robust, sustained community impact. And in that vein, we're focusing on 3 major efforts that we believe will best serve our community to address its greatest challenges and opportunities going forward. 3 priorities are up here on the screen, and just really quickly, I'm going to highlight them. The first is a new funders collaborative for DuPage County to mobilize local and regional funders to engage with us in continuing transformational grant making and address key community issues, leveraging funding, sharing information, convening, and taking collective action. The second lane is a community impact investor circle. We're going to build a county-wide circle of giving to immediately increase the impact of our annual discretionary grant making, while continuing to connect donors of all means, especially the local business community and area private foundations. And then finally, we're going to be launching a $35 million campaign to grow our county's permanent discretionary base of endowed funds for our community to be able to double our annual community impact grant making and enhance our programs and sustainability. This work has largely been inspired by our partnership with all of you, so I want to just again thank you. We know that the resources in our community are vast, but the needs of our neighbors are growing, and like you, we're increasingly being looked to lead in addressing these problems, and we want to step up to that challenge. So again, I just want to thank you and for your vision, investment, and confidence in us as a partner. We hope the success of this program inspires additional collaborations and potentially future partnerships with you, and we look forward to providing you our full report as these programs to continue to work their magic. So again, my thanks. Have a wonderful day. Appreciate it.
Okay, Member Schwarzy.
Thank you. And thank you for allowing this presentation. I just have to say to this board, the difficulty of performing the task that we have just done, that the DuPage Foundation was a leader in, it's hard to describe, because they mentioned we went through 272 letters of intent. They went through them not just once, multiple times. You know, the process is meticulous, and it has to be thorough. And with the DuPage Foundation's leadership, I think we did a fantastic job. In a short time, we've already served 1/4 of our county. And I want to thank you guys. There's a reason you guys are the grant leaders of DuPage County, and so thank you very much.
Okay, thank you again. Okay, in my remarks this morning, I want to reiterate some news that you may all have heard. Yes, the state's attorney's office has gone to the dogs. That's right. That's right, a black lab named Crew is the newest member of the office's staff. Crew is a facility dog who will be working with children and vulnerable witnesses or victims of crime. He will provide support and comfort for those individuals when they work with their attorneys, providing statements and testimony. Crew came from Duo Dogs, a nonprofit organization in St. Louis. Crew has 4 staff members in the office who were specially trained to act as his handlers. I try to be one of them. I hope that Crew can find time in his schedule to visit us here in the county boardroom so we can offer him a warm welcome in person. I want to congratulate State's Attorney Berlin and his staff, who recognize the importance of supporting our children and vulnerable witnesses when they are being questioned or testifying in court. Their experiences can be overwhelming, frightening, or even traumatizing. So anything we can do to support them is worth the investment. Thanks, State's Attorney Berlin, staff for this VIC, very important canine. On to business. Okay, I will take a motion to approve the consent agenda. Okay. 24-2666 DuPage County Board Regular Minutes Meeting, Tuesday, September 24th, 2024. 24-2571, 9/20/2024 pay list. 242573, 92024 auto debit pay list. 242619, 924 2024 pay list. 242633, 926 2024 auto debit pay list. 242635, 927 2024 pay list. 242657, 101 2024 pay list. 242664, change orders to various contracts as specified in the attached packet. All in favor? Okay. And we will move on to County Board and Vice Chair Michael Childress.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to move on CBR 4724, the appointment of Marilu Hernandez to the Emergency Telephone System Board out of Addison for the 911.
It has been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Childress.
Yes.
Covert.
Aye.
Desart. Eckhoff. Evans.
Aye.
Galassi. Garcia. Guston. Krajewski. LaPlante. Ozog. Rutledge. Schwarzy. Tornatori. You.
Aye.
Zay. Cahill. And Chaplin.
Aye. Okay. Thank you, Vice Chair Childress. Finance and Member Chaplin.
Thank you. Good morning, Madam Chair. I just want to remind the Collective Bargaining Committee that we do have a meeting immediate following legislative today. So with that, I will move on. FIR 17024, acceptance and appropriation of additional funding and extension of time for the Comprehensive Law Enforcement Response to Drugs Grant Intergovernmental Agreement. From $150,000 to $187,500, an increase of $37,500 State's Attorney's Office.
It's been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Chaplin.
Aye.
Childress.
Yes.
Covert.
Aye.
Desart. Eckhoff. Evans.
Aye.
Galassi. Garcia.
Aye.
Guston. Krajewski. LaPlante. Ozog. Rutledge. Schwarzy. Tornatori. You.
Aye.
Zay. And Cahill.
Okay, Member Chaplin.
Thank you. I move approval of FIR 17124, acceptance of an extension of time for the DuPage County Health Department Heroin Opioid Prevention and Education First Offender Court Unified for Success Focus Court Grant from December 31st, 2021 through June 30th, 2025, probation and court services.
Leave is granted. Member Chaplin.
Thank you. I move approval of FIR 17324, acceptance and appropriation of the DuPage Housing Authority Family Self-Sufficiency Program in the amount of $127,812, community services.
Leave is granted. Member Chaplin.
I move approval of FIR 01724 as amended in finance. We pulled the $65,000 budget transfer for the sheriff IT subscriptions to IT equipment, so that was pulled out.
Leave is granted. Member Chaplin.
Thank you. I move approval of FIR 17524, acceptance of extension of time and appropriation of additional funding for the DuPage Animal Friends Foundation Coordinator Grant from $5,000 to $10,000.
Leave is granted. Member Chaplin.
Thank you. I move approval of FIR 17624, renewal of group insurance programs, human resources.
Leave is granted. Member Chaplin.
Thank you. I move approval of FIR 17724, approval of an amendment to the intergovernmental agreement between the County of DuPage and DuPage County Park Districts for the use of ARPA funds for the local American Rescue Plan Act program.
Leave is granted. Member Chaplin.
Thank you. I move approval of FIR 17824, approval of the second amendment to the intergovernmental agreement between the County of DuPage and the County Fire Protection Districts for the use of ARPA funds for the local American Rescue Plan Act program.
Leave is granted. Thank you, Member Chaplin.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, Animal Services and Member Krajewski.
No report.
Okay.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Development, Member Tornatori. Okay, Economic Development, Member, no report, I assume. Carrie, do you have anything? Okay. Environmental, Member Rutledge.
Thank you, Chair. Just want to thank you for your comments about the hurricanes that are plaguing Florida. I have a daughter and two sisters down in that area, and they are already saying that this is going to be the worst impact they've seen from a hurricane in their time in Florida. I hate to say I was right. I talked about this earlier in the spring, that the Gulf waters are 90 degrees and they were going to spawn these huge storms. So I'll urge everyone to take another view about climate change because it is here and we must do more to combat this type of activity. Thank you.
And thank you, Member Rutledge, for your leadership on that. And we have Human Services, Member Schwarzy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. With regards to some comments I'd like to make. First of all, again, thank you to this board. Thank you to you for allowing the DuPage Foundation to share some of the statistics that they have to date. I'd be remiss not to recognize the Community Services Executive Director, Mary Keating. When under the leadership of Julie Renahan, and I was the vice chair on Human Services, we talked about what can we do for this ARPA money that we're receiving to help people in the long term. And it was Mary Keating's idea to let's look at working with these 4 topics, these 4 needs in the community, and let's look at long term instead of just tossing money at it right now. What can we do in the long term? So we are very fortunate to have her as our community services staff. So thank you very much, Mary. Oh, there you are. Thank you. So thank you very much. I will move on item HSCO 224, amendment to County Contract 7187-0001 serve issued to Carasoft Technology Corporation to increase encumbrance in the amount of $2,630.90 for the addition of 5 user licenses, resulting in an amended contract total not to exceed $29,050.90, an increase of 9.96%.
It's been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Schwarzy.
Yes.
Tornatori. You.
Aye.
Zay. Cahill. Chaplin.
Aye.
Childress. Covert.
Aye.
Desart. Eckhoff. Evans.
Aye.
Galassi. Garcia.
Aye.
Guston. Krajewski. LaPlante. Ozog. And Rutledge.
Okay. Member Schwarzy.
Thank you. I move on HSP 3424, recommendation for the approval of a contract purchase order issued to Pulmonary Exchange Limited for rental of respiratory care equipment for the DuPage Care Center for the period November 20th, 24 through November 19th, 25 for a total contract not to exceed $40,000.
Leave is granted. Thank you, Member Schwarzy. Okay, Judicial and Public Safety and Member Evans.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to move on JPSP-24-24, recommendation for the approval of a contract to Monterey Security Consultants for physical security services for the county campus and the Health Department for the period of March 1st, 2025 to November 30th, 2025 for a total contract amount not to exceed $1,352,612.32.
It's been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Evans.
Aye.
Galassi. Garcia.
Aye.
Guston. Krajewski. LaPlante. Ozog. Rutledge. Schwarzy. Tornatori. You.
Aye.
Zay. Cahill. Chaplin.
Aye.
Childress. Covert.
Aye.
Desart. And Eckhoff.
Okay, Member Evans.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to move on JPSP-26-24, recommendation for the approval of a contract purchase order to Real Time Networks, Inc. for the purchase of an asset tracer locker management system for the Sheriff's Office for the period of October 9th, 2024 through October 8th, 2025 for a contract total not to exceed $93,524.
Leave is granted. Member Evans.
Thank you. Next, I'd like to move on JPSP-27-24, recommendation for the approval of a contract purchase order to Verizon Wireless to provide service for tablets for the Sheriff's Office for the period of August 15th, 2024 to October 2nd, 2025 for a contract total not to exceed $98,000.
Leave is granted. Member Evans.
Thank you. I'd like to move on JPSP-28-24, recommendation for the approval of a contract purchase order to AT&T Mobility to provide wireless service for the Sheriff's Office for the period of August 15th, 2024 to July 24th, 2027 for a contract total not to exceed $404,000.
Leave is granted. Member Evans.
Thank you. I'd like to move on JPSP-29-24, recommendation for the approval of a contract purchase order to AT&T to provide wire service for the Sheriff's Office for the period of September 1st, 2024 to February 16th, 2026 for a contract total amount not to exceed $292,200.
Leave is granted. Member Evans.
Thank you. I'd like to move on JPS P-30-24, recommendation for the approval of a contract purchase order to Comcast Business to provide Ethernet service for the Sheriff's Office for the period of September 1st, 2024 to March 31st, 2027, for a contract total not to exceed $162,240.
Leave is granted. Member Evans.
Thank you. And finally, I'd like to move on JPS CO-9-24, amendment to purchase order 5567-1 serve issued to Advent Systems DBA Allied Universal Technology Services to increase the contract in the amount of $75,000 for one-time parts and labor for cameras and access control equipment for a new contract total amount of $217,080.
Leave is granted. Thank you, Member Evans.
Thank you.
Okay, Legislative and Member Desart.
Thank you, Madam Chair. In Washington, Congress broke at the end of September after passing a continuing resolution for FY24 spending, avoiding a shutdown on September 30th. All members of the DuPage County Congressional Delegation voted in favor, as did both U.S. senators. The House and Senate returned to Washington on Tuesday, November 12th, so that's right after the election. Locally, I don't know if this is economic development or legislative, but a new data center broke ground in Aurora. The Cyrus One campus, which consists of 2 buildings totaling 446,000 square feet, will serve local communities and national networks through the creation of the state-of-the-art digital infrastructure solutions. The Cyrus One data center will create hundreds of construction jobs and more than 20 full-time positions. It is set to open in early 2026. Chair Conroy was there, Member Patty Guston was there, and I attended the groundbreaking as well. Governor J.B. Pritzker, Representative Bill Foster, and other statewide dignitaries also attended. Other dignitaries included Greg Bedloff and Joan Olson, who also attended the groundbreaking. In Springfield, of course, the Illinois General Assembly remains adjourned until the November veto session. So we're going to talk about that veto session. Coming up following County Board, we'll have our Legislative Committee meeting in room 3500A. And again, we'll hear from our lobbyists, our state lobbyists, about the upcoming session. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Member Desart. We have Public Works and Member Garcia.
Thank you, Chair Conroy. Just a quick committee update that we did have a special meeting last week in regards to the Heritage Gallery update. If you didn't make it, you didn't miss anything because it will be a do-over. They kind of missed the mark, I think, on what we were asking, so you will have time to give your opinions on another meeting when obviously we have a little bit better information on what we want to include in that. I make a motion to approve PWP 002424, recommendation for the approval of a contract purchase order to Olson Roofing Company, Inc. for repair and replacement of roofing on Building 8 at the WGV treatment plant for the period of October 8, 2024 to June 30th, 2025 for a total contract amount not to exceed $42,267.50.
It's been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Garcia.
Aye.
Guston. Krajewski. LaPlante. Ozog. Rutledge. Schwarzy. Tornatore. You.
Aye.
Zay. Cahill. Chaplin.
Aye.
Childress. Covert.
Aye.
Desart. Eckhoff. Evans. And Galassi.
Okay, Member Garcia.
I make a motion to approve PWP 002524, recommendation for the approval of a contract purchase order to Altorfer Industries, Inc. for Caterpillar 910 front end wheel loader for the Woodridge Green Valley wastewater treatment plant for the period of October 8, 2024 to June 30th, 2025 for a total contract amount not to exceed $150,130.
Leave is granted. Member Garcia.
I make a motion to approve PWP 002624, recommendation for the approval of agreement between the County of DuPage, Illinois and Strand Associates, Inc. for design services and bidding documentation consultation of the direct replacement of existing hot water boilers and a biogas reuse evaluation at the Woodridge Green Valley wastewater treatment plant for the period of October 8, 2024 to November 30th, 2025 for a total contract amount not to exceed $170,400.
Leave is granted. Member Garcia.
I make a motion to approve FMP 003624, recommendation for the approval of a contract to Train US Inc. to provide a preventative full-service maintenance program for the 3 electric water chillers in the power plant for a 3-year period, October 9th, 2024 through October 8th, 2027, for a contract total amount not to exceed $406,619.
Leave is granted. Member Garcia.
I make a motion to approve FMP 003724, recommendation for the approval of contract purchase order to Nicor Gas for natural gas utility and distribution services for county facilities, for facilities management for the 4-year period of October 1st, 2024 through September 30th, 2028, for a total contract amount not to exceed $1,400,046.
Leave is granted. Member Garcia.
I make a motion to approve FMP 003824, a recommendation for the approval of a contract to SNI Solutions, Inc. to furnish and deliver de-icing solids, eco-salts for facilities management grounds for the period of November 1st, 2024 through October 31st, 2025, for a contract total amount not to exceed $96,320.
Leave is granted. Member Garcia.
I make a motion to approve FMR 000624, intergovernmental agreement between the County of DuPage, Illinois, and the City of Wheaton to amend the zoning governing the DuPage County Government Campus and the fairgrounds.
Leave is granted. Member Garcia.
I make a motion to approve FMCO 000124, Second Amendment to County Contract 65711, serve issued to Fox Valley Fire and Safety Company, Inc. for preventative maintenance, testing, and repair of the non-Edwards system technology fire alarm and life safety systems, and for 5-year hydrostatic testing and repairs on campus for facilities management for a change order not to increase the contract in the amount of $16,260.
Leave is granted. Thank you, Member Garcia. Okay, Stormwater and Members A.
Morning, Madam Chair. Move on SM 5-24, intergovernmental agreement between the County of DuPage and the Village of Roselle for cost share of the Temple Drive Drainage Improvement Project.
It's been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Zay.
Aye.
Cahill. Chaplin. Childress. Covert.
Aye.
Desart. Eckhoff. Evans. Galassi. Garcia. Custon. Krajewski. LaPlante. Ozog. Rutledge. Schwarzy. Tornatore. And you.
Aye.
Okay, Members A.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move on SMP 24-24, approval of a contract issued to V3 Companies for on-call drainage professional engineering services for stormwater management from October 8th, 2024 through November 30th, 2025, for the contract not to exceed $75,000.
Leave is granted. Members A.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move on SMP 25-24, approval of contract issued to Black & Veatch Corporation for professional engineering services for the Elmhurst Corey Highwell Engineering services, the amount not to exceed $350,000.
Leave is granted. Thank you, Members A.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, Technology and Member U.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As you may know, October is also the month dedicated to cybersecurity, so welcome to week 1 of Cybersecurity Month. During this week, the county focuses on how to keep all technology users and the county safe, whether you're in the office or working remotely. So this is your friendly reminder to all county board members and elected officials to complete your mandatory cybersecurity training. This is vital to our own security, and each of you are the first line of defense. To nail this point further home, I was informed yesterday that Wayne County, Michigan, became victim to a serious cybersecurity attack and a money ransom was demanded. There were disruptions to several key services. Multiple government websites went offline, including those for the prosecutor, the treasurer, the clerk, and the register of deeds. So please finish your mandated training. That email is in your email inbox. Lastly, I also bring to your attention that our IT leaders and staff drafted artificial intelligence guidelines for the county, and they were emailed to tech committee board members and others. If you have not received those AI draft guidelines and would like to review and make comment, please contact Anthony McPherson or Richard Birdson from IT. Moving on to the agenda, I make a motion on TEP 15-24, a recommendation for the approval of a contract purchase order to SHI International Corp. for the procurement of laptops, docks, and monitors for IT for the period of October 8, 2024 through November 30th, 2024 for a contract total amount of $229,123.
It's been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
You.
Aye.
Zay. Aye. Cahill. Aye. Chaplin.
Aye.
Childress. Yes. Covert.
Aye.
Desart. Aye. Eckhoff. Evans. Aye. Galassi. Aye. Garcia.
Aye.
Custon. Krajewski. Aye. LaPlante. Ozog. Aye. Rutledge. Aye. Schwarzy. And Tornatore.
Okay, Member U.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I move on TEP 16-24, recommendation for the approval of contract purchase order to Infor Inc. for ERP software maintenance and support for IT for the period of November 13, 2024 through November 30th, 2025 for a contract total of $247,856.83.
Leave is granted. Thank you, Member Yu.
Thank you.
Transportation and Member Ozog.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move for approval of DTP 004824, recommendation for the approval of a purchase order issued to Priority Products Incorporated to furnish and deliver weatherhead hydraulic fittings, hoses, and connectors as needed for the Division of Transportation for the period November 1st, 2024 through October 31st, 2025 for a contract total not to exceed $35,000.
It's been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Ozog.
Yes.
Rutledge. Schwarzy. Tornatori. Yu.
Aye.
Zay. Cahill. Chaplin.
Aye.
Childress. Covert.
Aye.
Desart. Eckhoff. Evans. Galassi. Garcia. Guston. Krajewski. And LaPlante.
Member Ozog.
Thank you. I move for approval of DTP 004924, recommendation for the approval of a contract to C. Orba Group Incorporated for professional Phase 1 preliminary engineering services for improvement along County Highway 40 College Road at County Highway 17 Maple Avenue for a contract total not to exceed $290,142.24. Professional services vetted through qualification-based selection process.
Leave is granted. Member Ozog.
Thank you. I move for approval of DTR 003724, award resolution issued to Triggy Construction Incorporated for the County Highway 47 Illinois Prairie Path, excuse me, Carlton Avenue improvements for an estimated county cost of $394,472.65.
Leave is granted. Member Ozog.
Excuse me. I move for approval of DTR 003824, intergovernmental agreement between the County of DuPage and the Illinois Department of Transportation for improvements along US 34 at Wolf Road at Saratoga Avenue and Main Street in Downers Grove with a total estimated cost of engineering and construction of $1,131,612, an estimated county cost of $12,794.
Leave is granted. Member Ozog.
Thank you. I move for approval of DTR 003924, intergovernmental agreement between the County of DuPage and Addison Township Road District for the Addison Township storm sewer improvements on Frontage Road, no county cost.
Leave is granted. Member Ozog.
I move for approval of DTR 004024, intergovernmental agreement between the County of DuPage and the Illinois Department of Transportation for bridge aesthetic improvements on Illinois 38 at Illinois 53 with a total estimated cost of engineering and construction of $2,428,527 and an estimated county cost of $48,730.
Leave is granted. Thank you, Member Ozog.
Wait.
Oh, one more. Oh, sorry.
Okay, I move for approval of DTR 004124, additional appropriation of impact fee service area 4 fund, Winfield Township, Company 1500, Fabian Parkway improvements, $200,000.
Okay.
Thank you.
Leave is granted.
I will stop now.
Thank you, Member Ozog. Okay. We're going to move on to old business. Do members have, okay. Member Desart to start?
Sure, thank you. I just have a suggestion. Public Works Chair Garcia mentioned the Heritage Gallery special call, and I propose another special call. Here's why. Taylor was so off the mark, they forgot the heritage in the Heritage Gallery, and a lot of folks, a lot of members gave desperate information, different information. Some people thought it could be a remote office area. Some people wanted leather seating. And I think that we need to have a special call, a Public Works special call, just to talk about what our priorities are. I mean, if one person says that they want leather seating, that's not enough to provide leather seating, if you know what I mean. So I think we need to get all of our ideas together as a board or as a committee. And if you can't make the special call, then, your voice is out. But if you do make it to the special call, that we can get all of our ideas in one package, and then we can have staff let Taylor know what our ideas are. Because, I just think we need another special call internally to talk about our ideas for the Heritage Gallery, and certainly add the heritage back into the Heritage Gallery. Thank you.
Okay, that'll be up to the chair.
Well, I think we could actually have that during our committee meeting. Everybody's always available to attend our Public Works Committee meetings. I hate to have another special meeting until we actually are all on board, so I would highly suggest that at our next Public Works meeting, and I'm looking at Nick over here, if we can just add that as under old business, that we can get that on there, and we can actually have some discussion on where we want to go in terms of priorities. So it's a great idea, Member Desardi. Thank you.
Okay, that we'll take that leadership, and I will attend your meeting. Okay, Member Schwartzy.
I just received word that Community Services staff Lisa Snipes was indeed watching, and she appreciates the board's acknowledgement of her work. So thank you.
Wonderful. Anybody else? Member Garcia again.
Yeah, that wasn't what I wanted to say before.
Okay.
This is kind of under old business, and I kind of asked Jason a little bit during the thing about some issues I'm hearing at the courthouse, and I'm not trying to point fingers in terms of security, but my highest priority is always making sure the people are safest in these buildings, in terms of staff and in terms of that. There was an incident a couple months ago, I guess, with the clerk of the circuit court's office where an alarm went off, but I guess that's been rectified. I'm assuming, I think that's what we talked about, that there was an alarm that went off, but the sheriff did not respond. And so I want to make sure that that never happens again, that we make sure that that's good. And then there was also some issue with a magnometer that's at the judicial building also that's not working, so we're having lines out the building. So I'm hearing that from some of the people who are working there, and I want to make sure that we get that rectified as soon as possible.
So we need a magnetometer check, please. Okay. Member Chaplin.
Thank you. I'm not sure if it's clear if it's the magnetometer or if they don't have people to man the magnetometer. But I know too, last Friday I received a text from a friend who's an attorney who said that the judge notified them that their court hearing was going to be postponed because there wasn't a deputy available in that courthouse. So I think there's and we're hearing it from more judges and more attorneys that this is happening more frequently. So I don't know what the answer is because I know they're so short-staffed over there. So, but I don't know how we're going to take care of it.
I think we'll let Under Sheriff Moore address that.
Thank you.
Good morning. Can you hear me? These are the same issues we've had for the last 30 years that I've been here. They're no worse or no better than they were before. I only have 9 open positions in the courthouse. As far as the door going off and in the clerk's office, that door is not connected to our alarm board and master control. I believe Jason and I are going to try and rectify that. So it's an audible in her area that we do not hear if we're not in there. So we will get that rectified. Magnetometers, I believe they're all up and running. It's probably an issue with my manpower right now. I'm working on it. We've tried some new recruiting things going on, and it looks like things are going to be picking up, but it's a slow roll. I cannot hire directly into the courthouse. I hire into corrections and then we transfer. So I'll be doing a transfer to the courthouse soon, but I'm also taking one of my CSOs and transferring into the corrections. So it's going both ways. I've got about 3 or 4 people who are going to start corrections probably in the next 30 days.
Okay. Member Garcia.
And I appreciate that. And I appreciate that you're looking into it and things like that. Security, we've been working on this building. I want to make sure that the courthouse is as secure as possible. And now we've just changed our zoning so that sheriff also has, it will be all over the campus. I mean, they'll have the responsibility of watching the whole campus in terms of, because it won't be in Wheaton anymore. So
Correct. We'll do that in conjunction with Monterey Security or your security firm here. Okay. We've looked at the numbers. It's not a large increase in numbers where our staff cannot bring that in also.
Okay,
we'll be just fine.
Are there any recruitment events coming up where you've been working, or I just haven't heard anything?
Those are continuous throughout the year, depends on which college or which facility is having one. We've sent our recruiting team everywhere.
Okay. Thank you so
Member
much.
Evans.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to also point out that we probably shouldn't, we have to be careful about what we talk about with security in the courthouse in a public forum. But Madam Chair, I know you have been working with Chief Judge Bonnie Wheaton to come up with some other solutions. And I think it's just something that we're actively working on, and we do have to be careful about what we say about security in the courthouse.
Yes, and when these issues come up and you're hearing from people, particularly more than once or twice, please feel free to come to me and let me know that. I have no issue. We work very well with the Undersheriff's office, and he's always very responsive. So let's not wait till a board meeting to bring it up. Let's go ahead and be proactive. Member Kajewski.
Yeah, CSOs can go directly into the courthouse, though, right?
I can hire directly for the CSOs, correct?
Yeah, so CSOs can be hired directly in there. I mean,
Correct.
The other ones have to go into the jail and then come over. So
Correct. Sworn officers go into the jail
Are you
first.
looking at both?
So currently, I'm only 2 CSOs short. One I'm going to transfer coming up soon. One I just transferred about 2 weeks ago.
And
So I
does
need
it
2
cause
CSOs.
problems to increase the amount of those CSOs because of union contracts?
Union contracts cost me a lot of stress.
No, well, I mean, so you get 2 openings, but you got 9 openings, but you can't.
So I have 2.
You can't bring more CSOs in, but
Not currently.
not currently because
I cannot, correct. I'm
Because
locked
of-
into how many CSOs I currently have. We're in negotiation with the union, and that's a
Does that
union issue.
cause a problem then with hiring security? We got Monterey going over there.
I don't have
Possibly.
Monterey going over there. I don't have a Monterey
Well,
security
no,
over there.
We are possibly bringing one in for the clerk.
Not my decision.
Well, I know it's not your decision. I'm just saying we're doing that, but that's okay. I mean, we bring more security. I mean, we bring more security in there maybe.
I only speak on behalf of the sheriff. I cannot speak on behalf of Monterey
No,
security or what the clerk is doing.
You made the comment about you had to go to the jail first, but the CSOs can come in directly.
I can hire direct CSOs, correct.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, we're gonna move on to new business then. Member Galassi.
Thank you. 3 things. First, I think we should have the opportunity to meet the cute little black lab that is in
I
Bob
could
Berlin's
not
office.
agree more.
I mean, he needs to come in so
Could
we can all
not
give him
agree
a
more.
scratch. Yeah, so that's my first thing. Secondly, I just wanted to welcome Ellie from Hinsdale Central. She's here shadowing today. So I appreciate that. And then finally, a bit of good news. I don't know if anyone here is a watcher of The Voice, but we actually had a person from District 3 compete last night, and he got selected and moving on to the next round. So that was just kind of an exciting thing for
What's
DuPage
what's
County.
his name? Do you
Tate
remember?
Renner.
Tate
Renner is
Okay,
his name. Yeah.
makes it more fun to watch for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Okay, Member Zay.
Thank you, Madam Chair. You know, I want to talk about an issue that's been uncomfortably hanging over this board every meeting, and that's the conduct and the presence of the deputy clerk. We can all sit here and continue to watch him make faces and laugh during meetings, but I want him to have tired of it. We, the 18 county board members and the chair, are elected by the people of DuPage County. You are not. We take an oath to uphold the laws of the state of Illinois and the Constitution. You have not. The board is responsible for the finances of the county, not you. Our role is to make sure the taxpayers' money is safeguarded and spent correctly, not you. You have no respect for the people sitting in this room, and your actions have proven that for years. You have had your chances to speak and respond at meetings, but you have chosen to speak to the press only. That tells me a lot right there. What brought this on was when the cameras went off after the last meeting. You felt or thought the situation was right to go after a few board members and finally speak on an issue. I know those board members can handle themselves, but with the ongoing lawsuit, your actions are completely inappropriate. I don't know what spurred your actions on, but if you feel an urge again to go after board members, I would suggest you come to the back row and speak to me. If not, I would hope that you would be respectful of this board and the chair, and if you cannot, please send someone else to take the role in the minutes. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, I think it's very important that we all remember there is a court case going on, so we should not be talking about any of this. There should be no communication going on, and I would always expect respectful behavior. I can't see the deputy clerk's face when I'm speaking, but I have been told many times he's incredibly disrespectful when I speak, and I do not appreciate it, nor does my staff. Anybody else? Okay. All right, well, folks, I'm informed we do have matters before us requiring us to enter into executive session. I'll ask those not associated with executive session to please exit the room. I'll take a motion to go into executive session pursuant to Open Meetings Act, appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance of specific employee. It has been moved and seconded. Once the room is clear, clerk, please take the roll.
Who was the motion on the executive session? Childress. Covert,
Here.
Desart, Eckhoff, Evans, Galassi, Garcia, Guston, Krajewski, LaPlante, Ozog, 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 Rutledge, 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 Schwarzy, Tornatori, Yu,
Here.
Zay, Cahill, and Chaplin.
Hi.
open session. Please, clerk, please take the roll to establish quorum.
Cahill.
Okay, hang on, we're gonna need, tech needs a minute. Hold on. Okay, no worries, go ahead, give him a minute. Okay,
Cahill. Chaplin.
What, I'm.
Roll call.
Here, thank you.
Childress. Covert.
Here.
Desart. Eckhoff. Evans. Galassi. Garcia. Guston. Krajewski. LaPlante. Ozog. Rutledge. Schwarzy. Tornatore. You.
Here.
And Zay.
okay. I will take a motion on the written resolution before you titled Appointment of Laura Flamian as Interim Animal Services Administrator. Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Garcia. Guston. Krajewski. LaPlante. Ozog. Rutledge. Schwarzy. Tornatore. You.
Aye.
Zay. Cahill. Chaplin. Childress. Covert.
Aye.
Desart. Eckhoff. Evans. And Galassi.
Okay, I'll take a motion to adjourn this meeting of the September session to Tuesday, October 22nd, 2024. That's October. For passage of the property tax, what is this? Property tax levy? All in favor, this meeting of the September session? Okay, gotcha, okay. This meeting of the September session is adjourned till Tuesday, October 22nd, 2024 at 10 a.m.